Legendary singer Paul Simon is updating the world on his new disability.
In May, he announced he'd lost hearing in his left ear, and now he says he's coming to terms with his condition and the fact that it could end his music career. Dr. Janice Trent is an audiologist for the American Speech Language Hearing Association and joins us live. Thanks so much for being here on Houston's Morning Show. What do you recommend when people have trouble dealing with the emotions of hearing loss?
Well, hearing loss is in and of itself just very difficult for many people to manage. It is the invisible disorder. Nobody knows about it. And then once you've been diagnosed about it, it's not something that you go out and tell the world. So what I will tell you is that since I'm not a licensed audiologist in Texas, I'm going to tell you what I would tell my students at the graduate school. And I used to teach at Temple University and Howard University in audiology. And what we talk about is just a general, we talk about the impact of hearing loss. We know that, for most people, hearing loss is a gradual thing that comes on over a period of years, and they notice it, and then gradually they decide to do something about it. But there's another kind of hearing loss that we don't really talk about quite a bit, and that's called a sudden sensory neural hearing loss. And essentially what that means is that patient goes to bed one night, can hear perfectly well, they wake up the next day, or maybe a few days later, and they notice, hey, I can't hear. So that is more striking, and it has a different kind of emotional impact than something that happens over a gradual period of time.
And my goodness, what would make you lose your hearing overnight like that?
Well, unfortunately, we really don't know. It's something that just arises. There are like 1 to 25 individuals in 100,000 rather, that get this kind of impairment. I certainly have seen it quite frequently in my practice. I try to get people to get to an ear, nose, and throat doctor immediately, because sometimes the doctor can give a prescription, some kind of medication that can help to get the hearing loss back. But in other cases, it does not come back.
Now, doctor, it's been about a year since hearing aids have been approved for over-the-counter, but a new study shows people still are not wearing them. Is this because there's a stigma around them, and how can we get more people to realize that they've come a long way?
Absolutely. Well, so now we're kind of talking two different things. A sudden sensory neural hearing loss, in general, does not fall within the guidelines of an over-the-counter hearing aid, okay? Because the over-the-counter hearing aids are only made for individuals with mild to moderate hearing losses, 18 years old and older. But a sudden sensory neural hearing loss is something that typically is much more severe, and so they wouldn't be candidates for that at all. But just briefly, in terms of the over-the-counter hearing aids, we know that what's the common comment? My hearing is not that bad. And so I think we're still trying to fight that little dilemma of people with hearing loss feeling, well, it's not that bad, so maybe I won't do anything about it. Their loved ones are certainly saying, yeah, you need to do something about it. But right now, we still are in that dialogue phase. I am delighted with the over-the-counter opportunities, because I think it has opened up the door for us to have a healthy dialogue on the importance of hearing loss and encouraging folks to go get a hearing test. I can't tell you the number of people who come into my office, adults, and when I ask them, well, when was the last time you had a hearing test? They say something like, well, I think when I was in 3rd grade. That's way too long, okay? So we really want to get people to come in and get a hearing test early, just like you go to the doctor and have your heart listened to, your lungs, your vision. Hearing ought to be on the list also.
All right, Dr. Trent, we'll make it a top priority and know that it's not just an inconvenience not to hear. It could truly be a safety issue. Thank you for your time today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for inviting me.